Hey there, I'm Rick Tamron here in the cave, and I'm super excited today because I just received in the mail this package from David Schiermeyer, and it contains a do-it-yourself portable cymatics kit. He's been offering for anyone who donates to his Patreon a chance to be entered into a drawing to receive a cymatics kit. And I was fortunate enough to receive one, and the arrangement we made was to have a kit that I could put into my own box. Because here's the thing for me, I already know how to make a cymatics kit. It's not really that hard, but what was really valuable to me was all of the cool stuff that he's already sorted through and figured out to put in there. The pans, assortment of different types of pans and attachments, and a particular amp and all this kind of stuff that works really well at a good price. And I just thought that would be a good way to go because I already have my own box, which I'm going to show you right now, that is very meaningful to me for a number of reasons, that has a story behind it. This cool little treasure box that I determined it's pretty much exactly the right size for this portable cymatics kit. And the reason why this was meaningful, there's actually two. I found this in a thrift store at a particular time, and I'd been looking for a cymatics box, some kind of cool cymatics box, for a year. And then it all sort of just came together on the day that I decided, I think I got everything ready. It's like I've turned the camper into a studio, and I'm ready to start doing stuff. And then that very day, two huge synchronicities. One, a meaning synchronicity, and one, a time synchronicity. In terms of meaning, I resonate very strongly with this concept in Tibetan Buddhism called a teraton, or a treasure revealer. Treasures being these great mystical insights that were hidden by the founder of Tibetan Buddhism, Padmasambhava, both in physical form in terms of like written documents, but also supposedly in ethereal form for meditators to find while doing mantras and explorations just within the cosmic sphere. And at least in personality, I strongly resonate with that idea of being a treasure hunter, a treasure revealer, and also a hider of treasures, because I always participated in like scavenger hunts. Whenever I participated in a scavenger hunt, I was always the person who wrote the clues. And I really resonated that, and that leads into the time synchronicity, because just before I walked into Goodwill and found this, I was on my phone, and I had just read the news that Forrest Fenn's treasure has been found. If you don't know, Forrest Fenn hid a treasure in the Rocky Mountains some like 8 to 10 years ago, and it became legendary within treasure hunting circles. And apparently like 4 people had died in the process of trying to find it. And I just had always thought it was the coolest thing, especially the way they put the clues in a book that he wrote. And obviously that resonated with like everything that I've kind of fantasized about my entire life. So for those things to come together at the same time, reading about Forrest Fenn's treasure just before walking into Goodwill and then finding this box, it confirmed for me, as somebody who follows synchronicity, for the clues about, where my life is headed. That was the clue that, I guess it's not just that I think I'm ready. Apparently this is the time that I need to start doing stuff. So I'm ready. If you're ready to get started, we're going to put the contents of this box into this box. So let's get started. All right, so the box is emptied out, and here's everything we got. You see here, it's a collection of pans. And these are all, let's see, this one is completely handmade. And you can see on the bottom of each one, he's got these, which enable it to be, let's flip this speaker around. And you just screw that right onto it, like that. So he's given this good selection of small pans. And then there's a, oh, this is a pan like this. It's a very small pan. Wow, what a cool collection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So at least 9 pans that I see, along with a bunch more of these. Just take these and then you could use them for your own, well, use them to put, which one is he putting on the pan? So I guess you put the lid on the pan with some, he also put some glue sticks in here. And then there's a bottom also if you want to experiment with more drivers. These are the feet to put on the bottom of there to make sure it's all level. And to help with the leveling, he includes in this little thing, the little small level, which I think was a really cool detail to include, which will fit right in the pans, or on the pans it looks like. Looks like he included some super glue, screwdriver. I'm thinking, oh, that's for the amp, and so I'll talk about the amp. Then a couple more screws, and that looks like the volume knob for the amp. This I've determined is the stand. So this telescopes out. It's just a really simple do-it-yourself telescoping stand, and it's really well made. He did a good job with this, and this is cool. And then see, I guess it fits in this way, and then that goes like that, and then see, I guess you can't see the whole thing from the top, but then this will go under there. Whoops, guess you got to screw it on there a bit. And then that will be the stand that you stick your phone on top of, like that. So he's already pre-wired this up. So we got the speaker here, and there's a model number if you want to look up what it is. It's a good 4-inch woofer. This is really stiff. This is a really nice speaker, and with a huge magnet on it, which tells you it can handle a lot of power. Now this is the little amp, and I looked up the specs on this. I'm going to show you on the screen. It's just a bare bones. It's just a circuit board basically, and it comes with the screws to mount it wherever you like. And I'm going to have to figure out a way to, so I'm going to do that in a minute. I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to mount it in here so that I have access to the volume control. The chip on here is a hi-fi chip. This board can be used for a hi-fi system that will sound really good. It's one of the best low-cost, even though it's not really that relevant for this, but what matters in an amp is that you have a really good power handling capability. Because if the speaker starts drawing a lot more current than your amp can handle, then it will start to distort, and then the distortion will go to the speaker and start to just rip it apart from the distortion. So you want to make sure that your amp has a higher power handling capability, but don't crank it up all the way or you will mess up your speakers. So he's already pre-wired this, and since it's a stereo amplifier, it's got 2 outputs, so a left and a right, and he's got one wired up to the speaker. And then I guess he decided, this is what he told me in the text, that might as well make use of the other one. So he gave me this that is meant, probably what we're going to do is stick it on the outside of that someplace, and that will give an additional speaker output that could be used for a different speaker. I could hook up another woofer someplace else, or just a different speaker of a different design or something to just test one against the other, or just whatever, something independent of this one. If this wasn't doing what I needed to do, maybe I wanted to use a bigger woofer or something else. I have that option. So that's cool. This is just your standard TRS cable, which is going to plug in the back. Wait, where is it? Oh, it's up here. So on the same side, so if this goes into the front of there, this is the light ring. So this is one of those ones designed to clip on the front of your phone. So I guess what you do is you do that. Is that the way this one works? Yeah, I guess it could work that way. And then, is that what it's meant to do? So I'll have to mess with this a little bit to figure it out. But he includes, this is a homemade color filter. And then this, let's see, where's the on switch? Right there. Okay, so there's different color LEDs on there, every other one. So this is everything. Oh, that's just the white ones, and this is just the yellow ones. Okay, so 3 different patterns. And you can put that on there. Oh, you can kind of see it. Oh, that's cool. But then you put on the diffuser, and then it just kind of turns to white. Even though when I'm looking at it from here, not through the camera, I can see all the colors, and it looks cool. So this is going to be the power cable for the amp. So it can go just right in there. And then this is the other end. Oh, water bottle. Pop that open. And then this, you can imagine that this is sitting inside of there. And then we're going to need to set it on a shelf of some kind. So these little pieces work. So we'll attach these inside there, one on each side. So it's going to sit on there. And I'm going to have to figure out how to put this in here. That would be like this, with solid side out. And then I'll screw in from the side, put those the little screws in there on the mounting posts. And then this is going to be scooted up, so it looks like the plug-in is going to end up here. And then the knob is going to be down here somewhere. And then this is going to be most likely out the back. I could also pull it out the top and just pigtail out the top. There's nothing going to be out here to interfere with it. And although it's not the most elegant looking thing. So that's what we got, and so that's what work is coming up. So let's get going with it. All right, I'm back. Same shirt, different day. And unfortunately, my computer crashed because of the heat, which means I lost that entire walkthrough video. But that's okay because it was boring anyway. And I could just as easily just show you what I did. So here's the finished box. And there are really only a few things that need to be done. So starting from the outside, there's a big hole in the back for this, which is accomplished with the hole saw. And got the hole that was for the amp knob. And then there's another hole here for the optional audio in jack. And it's optional because this actually runs on Bluetooth, which I forgot to mention, but that's really, really handy. Saves you a cable. And then on the inside, we have, well, I'll show you that in a second. You put a hole in there for that. I also put a hole up here in the top, which is just another access. But actually, what I use that for especially is, let me get these cables out. So there's the cable. I just picked that up at the thrift store for $1. And where'd it go? Oh yeah, this. So this is the jack, and so I can just leave that out here. That was the easiest way to do it, rather than install a jack on the outside. But I might consider doing that in the future. And then on the inside, you need to put these ears on the side. On the bottom here, you can see in each corner a place to put. So we got leveling feet on the bottom there that just screw in like that. And that is just about it, except for the amp. Now getting the amp in there, it goes in there. You saw the little tiny screwdriver, I think. And the way it's installed is tiny screws here in the sides. These ones here, 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 here. 4. And because they're so tiny, it's a pain in the ass. And I actually would probably recommend the easiest way to install it in here is to use double-sided tape. There's one flat side and then one where the circuits, where the electronic components come out. But if you flip it out, you could sticky tape the flat side to the wall, or wherever, yeah, whatever wall you're going to use for your application, and you could cover the front. and that'd probably be the easiest way. I spent way too much time doing that, because other than that, it's actually very easy. And then the rest of it is this. These just screw on using the little bottle caps, and it'll be easier to show you what I had when I show you the rest of them. Then we got all these installed up here. Let's just take one off. So this is a little jar. It's a little jar, and this is the cap of the jar, and it's hot glued right on there. I figured out that you can get one of these for, I think it was $2.50 at Walmart, along with mica powder. I'd never seen mica powder anywhere, but you can apparently get mica powder at Walmart for extremely cheap. Each pack of 4 was $1.50 at Walmart in the craft section for bath bombs. Okay, so that's it. That's really it. So the only other component is this and the light ring. So other than that, we can get started, and I'm going to show you setting this up on my phone in Bluetooth. And all you got to do is flip here and go connect to Bluetooth. Oh, I have to plug it in first, so that would help. So let's do that. Get that out. And then you're going to have an adapter of some kind. In my case, I plug it right into my, I'm in a camper, so I plug it into my 12-volt outlet. That should do it. And now you'll see there's a BT Wuji. There it is. So I'm going to click that. And it's connected. Just for demonstration purposes. Alright, so we'll turn it on now. Hit play. So, it's a speaker, a woofer, and it's going to play bass frequencies. Or it's going to emphasize the bass frequencies because this is a woofer. But now we know that it works. Take a little squirt bottle, put enough water in there, and see what we can do. You can see the patterns. But of course, if we really want to see it, we want to connect all this stuff up. So let's do that. So here we go. I loaded up a tone generator app on my phone. Dialed in a frequency to start working with. Since we're using the biggest pan, we want to use the smallest frequency that we can get a good response from. So I chose 6 Hertz. So let's see what happens. I'm going to open my phone app, put it on video, and we can see our lights. I'm going to want to line that up, and I should just be able to turn up the volume to get those ripples. You probably can't see it moving from the main camera, but from the phone you can see them because the phone is picking up the lights. From here you can't see the lights. The angle incidence isn't quite there. But as I turn the volume up, you can start to see the patterns arise. And so for contrast, let's try a smaller pan. Let's crank up the volume a little bit. Pretty cool. See if there's a different lighting setting. So the only thing I'm playing with right now is the volume. But from here, we have all these pans to choose from. We could play with the amount of water that we put in here. We could play with the height. And ultimately, this is going to be about the blend of the lighting along with the sounds and vibration. Even though we think a lot about this is about vibrating the water, it's just as much about the lighting as well. It's about the combination of sound and light. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you want to get one of these kits for yourself, find David Schiermeyer at one of the links below. And if you like this video and want to see a lot more to come, please like and subscribe to my page on Facebook, The Synchronicity, or on YouTube, also called The Synchronicity /Rick Tamarin. Thanks very much for watching.